my duty and my talk will be based on how this concept of biomimicry can be connected to the sustainability through the lens of a business world lens. So let me share my screen with you. Right. So my talk will be covering 4 different aspects. As you can see from the slide itself, I'm going to talk about 4 key elements that is covering the entire concept of biomimicry as the first part of my discussion. And then I will move on to the second part of discussion, how this biomimicry is related with the concept of sustainability in a very broader way. And third element, we'll be talking about biomimicry, sustainability, and also put it together with the business world. However, my final thoughts and my final discussion will be based on biomimicry, limiting with one of the business model of business world, which is the social enterprise business model. So I will be talking about all these 4 key areas within this 45 minutes time. So as I told you, like my first part of the presentation or the talk will be about just to give some glimpse as well as some thoughtful about the concept of biomimicry. Because I thought it would be good to know, like if we all have the kind of same understanding about what this concept of biomimicry, that would be helpful for us to move on to the next section. Just to give you some interesting features as well as some interesting information about where it was started and when it was started and how people have used the concept of biomimicry over the period of time. So it dates back to nearly about, as I remember, around 400 BC. That means very, very, very old period. According to the evidence as well as according to the information, it dates back to somewhere around 400 BC. And as you can see, there is a Chinese person who was a carpenter. And according to the evidence information, like he tried to develop a kind of instrument to get rid of heavy rain as well as heavy sun. So he created an umbrella as the starting point of this evidence-based biomimicry in order to protect himself from the rain. So he inspired this idea by looking at a big lotus leaf. You all can see, like, if there is a rain, we used to carry a big leaf to cover up our head. So not only that, later on, another historical evidence goes back to Leonardo da Vinci. As you can see, he's a great artist and he's a philosopher. So therefore, what he did was he tried to draw a bird wing. Later on, the bird wing idea was slowly moving to the development of the aeroplane model. So not only limiting to this historical data, but if you can see another lady standing here, Janine Benyus, she is considered as the modern biomimicry inspirational model who try to bring very practical solution based on the modern biomimicry. So I think this image as well as this diagram captures almost the history of the biomimicry over the period of time. Having explained this, the journey of this biomimicry, people try to use different type of terminology. So, for example, in one book or one document, you can say it is biomimicry and bio-inspired solution. and so on. So sometimes it's confusing whether it is the same concept or whether they have some relationship or whether they are in a kind of similar related concept. So therefore, I'm trying to give you some basic information about related concepts. As you can see from this slide on the right hand side to myself, there is a diagram with three, like a Venn diagram. You can see biomimicry, biomorphism, and bioutilization. What are those things? And on the on the left hand side to me, bio-inspired solution. So these three concepts are interrelated in one way, you can say. So biomimicry, when you look at the first diagram, you can see some plant which is having different type of stings. And apart from that, it has been converted into a fulcrum. I think you know, like when you try to sip a shoe or a bag, you can see this falcon is used. So it was inspired by looking at some of the living things which is based on a plant. So that type of knowledge is labeled as biomimicry because we try to take this technology and we'll look at the nature and try to bring its functions into our modern day life. The second concept is biomorphism, where the biomorphism term is stick on a kind of building. When you look at it, it's like a lotus. So that means trying to build up something exactly similar to the nature. So looking at the lotus, they try to establish a building. We call it Lotus Temple, which is in India. And the third concept related is bioutilization. That means we use the nature, a living thing, a plant, try to convert into a wood or a kind of piece of wood, and then we try to develop into a chair. So now you can see this concept is having like similarity as well as relationship, but technically these are three different concepts. And my next slide is trying to say like whether all these bio-inspired solution can be labeled it as a biomimicry. The simple answer is no, because biomimicry is we looked at the nature and we try to incorporate the principles as well as the natural system and structures and trying to capture and include a technology which is man-made. So we are trying to put these two things together and trying to sort out our day-to-day life problems. So that is what basically we meant by the concept of biomimicry. Again, I'm coming back to the Janine Benyus because she is kind of a founding person of the concept of biomimicry. She explained the concept biomimicry very nicely, and according to her writing, she convert this concept from biomimetics to biomimicry as bio means living things and mimicking means imitation. So simply what we are going to do, we are trying to imitate the natural things and natural systems in order to sort out our human problems. I think within that, keeping that token of appreciation to Dr. Jane Benyus, the concept of biomimicry is evolving day by day. And then you may think about, like, are there any different models that we can take it from this biomimicry concept? So yes, because the concept of biomimicry, now I have taken out all the concept of pure biomimicry concept, apart from biomorphism and bio-inspired solution, but particularly focusing on the concept of biomimicry. Do we have any models? Yes. According to biomimicry, they consider nature in different ways and consider as a model, as well as a measure, and nature as a source of idea. So, say for example, what do you mean by a model? Some innovators and some inventors trying to look at the nature as a model and try to capture the system processes which are already generated by the mother nature and trying to bring into our production process. So that is where we consider nature as a very powerful source of providing us different type of model. Not only that, nature also provides some measurements. It is the perfect place to see whether it is a rightful act or not a rightful act. And also, not only that, nature also provides resources. Of course, we take almost everything from the nature. We breathe the air from the nature, we eat, we travel, we do almost everything thankful to the nature. So not only that, it also gives some ideas. So therefore, nature can be taken as a good mentor for you and for me. I think I have explained some of the key concepts that are related with the concept of biomimicry. I think that is what I really wanted to talk about. My first element of bringing and introducing the concept of biomimicry among yourself. And I promise you that I am going to talk about 4 different parts. So let me come to my second part of the presentation, which is about I'm going to marry those two concepts of biomimicry into sustainability. So you may wonder like whether it is possible. Yes, it is. Because biomimicry, as I told you, biomimicry is trying to sort out our problems by looking at the nature and capturing its system, capturing its measurements, capturing its model, capturing and getting source of ideas. That is exactly what we trying to do in sustainability. In sustainability, what we trying to do is we are trying to sort out human problems, but trying to secure the nature, environment, and so on. So therefore, these two people are standing in a very good position there where we can make this marriage successfully. I'm not going to talk about in detail about the concept of sustainability because I am pretty sure that many of you have heard about the concept of sustainability having 3 different pillars: environment, economy, and society, without making any damage to the present generation as well as future generation. We are trying to fulfill our needs as well as fulfill future generations' needs. So it all started with a kind of incident. I think Professor Kotagama has nicely explained yesterday with the introduction of Brundtland report in somewhere around 1987, which as the key as well as a great milestone where people start to think about how do we protect our mother nature as well as mother earth, as well as how do we survive within this evolving as well as ever expanding population. And then not only those period, because as you can see, the concept of sustainability came into the practice and came into the into our everyday life in somewhere around 1980s period. But whether this sustainability concept is important today as well. Yes, I know it is. It is very much indeedly important, I think, than ever before. Because why? Because the Mother Earth is bearing an unbearable amount of population. That's not only with the population problem. When we have more mouth, when we have more people, we have so many things. We have so many aspects to be fulfilled. As a result of this ever increasing population, what we do? So on the top diagram, you can see we create 1.3 billion tons of food waste every year. And as a result, and related with that, We also dump 8.3 billion tons of plastic we add every year. And as a result of that, because we consume more, we throw more. As a result of that, we are losing nearly about more than 70% of our beautiful beaches around the world. So you can see the way that we destroy our planet. But when you destroy the planet and when you destroy the nature, the result is not to the nature, but for us. What is the end result? You can see the right-hand side of the diagram, the PowerPoint. It explains like how many people will be displaced because of these things, right? So because of our different actions we take every day, we throw things, we waste some unnecessary materials, food, and all that. Because of that, we make our planet, we make our home, Earth, a kind of uninhabitable place. So, as a result of that, more than 250 million people are becoming displaced, will be displaced by 2050. That is an estimated figure. More than 90% of the people live in polluted areas across the globe, and also around 20% of the global population will be suffering with lung related cancers and lung related diseases. So you can see the world in which we are heading. So therefore, what do you think? Sustainability is important. So that's why I told you sustainability is important today than ever before. But I'm pretty sure that the future generation will say that no, sustainability will be very much important for the future generation than ever before. Moving from that slide, what I'm trying to tell you, if that is the case, so how can we bring an innovative concept of biomimicry in order to deliver the concept of sustainability? So you may wonder like whether there are any evidence, any applications in the world. Yes, of course. As you can see from this slide, there are different initiatives already started in some small villages, some countries, some areas, as well as some regional level. Say, for example, now you may wonder like, what are the areas where we can bring this biomimicry concept into sustainability journey? Of course, through innovations. Not only that, not only innovation of product and services, but also developing some corporate models. I mean, business model. And also, we all live in the built environment. Of course, biomimicry can be nicely, effectively implemented in built environment. So you can see there are promising evidences. How do we do that? Because Mother Nature has a secret recipe. What is it? Nature's principle. The nature's principle invented by the Biomimicry for Creative Innovation Center, they identified there are 6 key secrets behind the nature's principle. Mother Nature is the good place to teach us how to be resilient. Nature has the secret principle of making everything optimizing. Don't forget about it. It's not maximizing, optimizing. And also, Mother Nature has the capacity to be adaptive. And they have so many systems which we never thought about and which we won't be able to discover almost all the systems. And they give proper value addition, and also they do the value based and value appreciation. The last concept is life supporting. Of course, Mother Nature provide all the life support systems for us. So therefore, now you can see how nicely we can combine the concept of biomimicry into sustainability concept. So I think that is the end of my second part of the discussion, which is about, is there any roadmap to combine the concept of biomimicry with sustainability? Of course, we have seen. There are plenty of avenues that we can do sustainability with biomimicry. I hope that is the second end of the second part. So let's talk about the third element. The third element is about, the third part of my discussion is about three concepts: biomimicry, sustainability, and from the business world. Can we live without the business world? Can we do anything without the business world? So that is why some economics argue that business is the engine of growth, right? So therefore, we need the business sector. Applications. So I'm going to talk about how this biomimicry concept, right? For a moment, I'm going to drop the concept of sustainability, but I will come back later. So I'm going to ask about the question like, how the biomimicry concept can be bring into some business model. So you can see biomimicry has been practicing in different companies, in different countries, in different communities already. So when we look at their application of biomimicry in the business world, we can identify two different types of solution. Within this slide, I'm focusing on the technical solution, and this slide, I'm focusing on the societal solution. Let me come back later on to the societal solution. Let me talk about some of the applications of biomimicry in providing technical solutions. So I have put forward some 4 different aspects where technical solutions are quite common. Say, for example, product design. I think Professor Ranjit's speech yesterday, he talked about the bullet train example in Japan. How did they manage to increase the efficiency of the bullet train, and also how did they manage to reduce the noise pollution of the bullet train? So that was inspired by the beak of the kingfisher. And also, not only that, another very nice example from the product design can be identified, the turbine blades. I hope you have seen very big turbines are there in different type of manufacturing process, like energy manufacturing, and also some in wind turbine, and so many turbine blades are is a result by looking at how the whale, the whale, the biggest animal on the in the sea, the biggest his flippers, the flippers of a whale. Looking at the flippers of the whale, the turbine blades was generated. Not only that, a very latest development in the product design is, as you can see from this left-hand side of a man is standing wearing a vest. That is a professional swimsuit that was developed by looking at how the skin of the shark is developed by Mother Nature. Looking at that technology, they try to manipulate and they try to bring into the professional product design. Not only product design, in different settings, security innovative mechanism. The octopus living in ocean and sea. They use the camouflage just to get protection from any enemies. What do they do? How do they do that? Octopus release some chemical, and then with that chemical, it is a dye, so nobody can see where the octopus is there. So that technology have been used in camouflaging during war or during some other activities or other security innovative mechanism. The concept of biomimicry has been also invented in built environment. I think once again, going back with Professor Ranjit's speech, he explained how the termite mound has been converted, has been used as the inspiration of modern day building to have proper ventilation and have proper noise control mechanism. And also, apart from that, some service sectors, say for example, you all know the mushrooms. So they have seen how these mushrooms are performing. Based on that, they have generated this mushrooms lifespan in order to incorporate in the waste disposable activity. So these are some technical solutions. So you may wonder, like, can we bring that biomimicry into our societal problem? Of course. And you can see there are two theories I have highlighted here. One is swarm theory, which is, like when bees are moving, they are not going in isolately, but they are going as a group. But they have several patterns of moving. So based on these things, we can see like how behaviors can be changed from these biomimicry concept. They have used these behaviors in order to evacuation mechanism when there is a disaster, and also proper communication. What is the fastest communication method based on these, by looking at these living organism surrounding you and me. So I think you can see like technically we can use the biomimicry concept, and also in societal problems also we can use biomimicry concepts. And just to summarize, like, all right, so there are applications, there are some benefits that we can do. But technically speaking, what are the importance, what are the benefits, and what are the strength of this biomimetics into the business world, into the environment, and into the society? So you can see there are red colored letters over here. Because of that, Mother Nature has the life concept, as I shown you, with 6 different life principle, nature principle. We talk about optimizing. So therefore, they are trying to bring the concept of efficiency to your organization. What do you mean by efficiency? Lower cost. What do you mean by lower cost? You are making more profit, isn't it? So in that sense, biomimicry can bring multiple benefits directly to the business world. Not only to the business world, how do this biomimicry can bring benefits to the environment and society? You can see the concept of biomimicry is always trying to optimize, not to maximize, and it also trying to convert your business into a sustainable businesses, which is less harm to the people and less harm to the planet. And also, biomimicry has the capacity to tell us how to reverse the damage that we have made. And also, biomimicry has already shown higher capacity to be resilient. So, in a nutshell, you can see ultimately it solves our problems in the sustainable way. So, therefore, you can see it is a hugely important area that we are trying to explore and bring that knowledge into our business world, into our organization, and into our country's economy, as well as to the nature, as well as to the overall world. I'm not going to stop that, but coming to the reality, see whether there is any possibilities for your business enterprise, or whether your business different type of industry, yourself and myself are engaging. So as you can see from this diagram, biomimicry estimated market impact 2025. So next year, right? So you can see there are diverse range of industries that we can identify. We can bring this biomimicry concept into diverse type of industries. Say, for example, paper manufacturing, apparel sector, petroleum, mining, quarrying, and so on. And also across the globe, not only across the globe, they projected around $1 trillion increase of GDP by 2025. And also this slide also captures some of the eye-catching information, because if you are thinking about doing a kind of trade, doing a building construction or a chemical manufacturing industry, or maybe engaging with electronic, or maybe you starting a transportation industry. So you can see there are still vacancies for you to apply your biomimicry concept into these diverse type of industries across the world. So having understood this big possibility, big sphere in front of you and me, a group of Cambridge University team tried to set up a biomimicry center, and we call them as Cambrian explosion of biomimicry. What they did was fascinating. They tried to identify. You can see from this diagram, there are different type of, on the left hand side of my, different type of sectors. Say for example, carbon, water, material, energy, optics, thermoregulation, fluid dynamics, data. So these are different areas where you work. And they try to link all these areas on the right-hand corner of this diagram with practical business activities. So if you follow this link, that's why I purposely include this link. If you are really interested about this website, you can click on the link and see. It will take you to a kind of moving and kind of live a link in between these key areas, key industries with different type of manufacturing process. So from that diagram, what I did was I just took a couple of examples. Say, for example, if you use the cactus. You know the cactus plants, which is grown in harsh environment, dry environment. They try to look at how the cactus plant is surviving, and they're trying to incorporate this knowledge into agriculture and also water treatment methods. And another example, snake-inspired flight. Some snakes, some reptiles are moving very fast. So they are trying to take that knowledge into some military industry. So you can see the industry and the possibilities and opportunities for you to use this biomimicry. You are sitting in Asia. I am originally come from Asia. So is there any opportunity for us? Yes, massive. Because Oxford Economics estimated that top 10 emerging countries, most of these countries are standing and sitting in Asia. And also another important projection by the IMF, International Monetary Fund, they have done an estimation in 2020, growth projection by region. So if you look at the entire world, who is the leading growth projection? Who has the leading growth projection, which is emerging and developing Asia? You can see. So we are taking control. We are doing our businesses and going to be the leading contributor for the global production. And also you can see from this slide, from this third diagram, Asia, what is the level of economic contribution. So therefore, that means we are contributing, and we are sitting very well within this global economic world. So as I know that this webinar series is thankful to the collaboration between India and Sri Lanka, therefore I took some examples and see whether Sri Lanka will be benefiting and whether India will be benefiting. Of course, as you know that our good neighbor who supported us enormously during our hardships period, still we are in the hardship in Sri Lanka with the economic crisis. So within this economic crisis and just after the pandemic, we can see there are a lot of opportunities that we can incorporate biomimicry into our Sri Lankan economy. Not only Sri Lanka, but also Indian context. India rises in Global Innovation Index in 2022. You can see there are a lot of innovations going on in India. At the same time, sadly, India, Sri Lanka, in many parts of the developing world, we all are suffering with so much of environmental problem, right? And also we have poverty problem, and we have lack of access to education and things like that. So therefore, we are sitting at the right place to see like new innovative methods to help our economy, protect our environment, and help our communities. And just before, so that is all about my third element, whether looking at biomimicry and also business world, whether we are having a kind of innovative solution to direct our growing emerging business world within particularly in Asia, and also while doing that, can we help the sustainability concept? So just before finishing the third element of my discussion, you can see yesterday, Professor Sarath Kotagama pointed out three things to be a sustainable person. He highlighted several times he highlighted that we all miss the opportunity. We looked at economics, we looked at environment separately, and we are missing a key ingredient of sociology, right? So social aspect we are looking at. So therefore, in order to bring these three divergent concepts, we can bring them together to make a better world. So with that note, I'm moving to the part 4 of my presentation, which is about bringing this biomimicry concept into the roads of sustainability, but bringing one of the key business model of social enterprise. Why did I select the social enterprise? Because, the conventional businesses are looking at only the profitability. I'm not blaming, we need the business sector, but they more focus on profitability. So if you are so keen to increase your profitability, you miss so many opportunities. Right? We neglect environment, we neglect our labor force, we neglect our supply chain, we neglect our community because we are heading to just mere the profitability. Not sticking with that conventional business, why can't we bring a business which is trying to protect almost every stakeholder? So that is the business model which we talk about, the social enterprises. So therefore, my section 4 will be, part 4 will be about talking about the concept of social enterprise. I know that India is a great place to talk about the social enterprise because you have already initiated social enterprise and you are in the path of social enterprise business model for decades time. However, maybe our Sri Lankan community and the Sri Lankan students and the Sri Lankan stakeholders will be wondering like, what is this social enterprise concept? In very simple term, I use several definitions given by European Commission and another academic or researcher, and also some websites from the UK government. In almost across all these definitions, the things that I have highlighted here, social enterprise has the capacity to make a positive impact to the society rather than just sticking with the profit. And also they have the objective and operate in an environmentally responsible way. So that is why I'm saying that biomimicry can be well suited within the social enterprise compared to other business model. So how do you recognize a social enterprise within our other business model? Social enterprise, you can see the objective is different because they have the mix of balance of both business objective, that means we need to make some profits for our survival and for our continuation and for our growth, of course. And also, while achieving our business objective, they do have a social objective. And another feature of the social businesses and social enterprises, they take these profits to reinvest in their business. At the end of the day, they transfer this profit to the social missions. And also independently operate, engaging with trading business, and it provides a positive environmental impact as much as possible, and also try to find some solution for the social problem and sustainable business model. So these are some of the key things that you can yardsticks you can use when you are trying to see whether this is a social enterprise business or not. Different type of social enterprises can be identified. Some are purely non-profit, some are cooperative, some are social purpose business, some are for-profit business, no harm at all, but different ways they are operating in our society. And if we take some notes across the globe, whether the social enterprises are operating in the developed world or developing world, I would say it is operating in both regions, developed countries as well as developing. Say, for example, in the UK, there are around 100,000 social entrepreneurs, social enterprises, and also they are contributing significantly around 60 billion 60 billion pounds, sterling pounds, and also not only that, they contribute 2 million employments, which is huge in the UK economy. And also, there are evidence in social entrepreneurships and social enterprises in India, Sri Lanka, Philippines, and Cambodia. However, this beautiful business model is having difficulties because not only the social enterprises, but all the other enterprises also have some difficulties. But the social enterprises is having some extra as well as some special difficulties while doing their business. Say, for example, they are trying to find out targeting customers, bringing cash flow, obtaining funding, economic instability, skill shortages, cost of production, high uncertain, especially during the period of uncertain period, pandemic, and also crises, disasters, wars, and so on. So, therefore, in a nutshell, they are struggling to have their resilience as well as growth. However, there are a lot of lessons we can learn from the outside world. Say, for example, in 2021, UK tried to identify who are doing social enterprises and who has the best social enterprise model in the UK. So the recent event took place in 2021, and they have identified a couple of social entrepreneurs as the best social entrepreneurs of the year. So this is one of the award-winning social enterprise operated in the UK. So they are like a vegetable based organization, vegetable growers, and provide a vegetable to the supermarkets in a sustainable manufacturing way. That is their website. These are their key commitment. And apart from that, it's not only vegetable, it's not only agriculture. If you look at this couple standing on the left side of me, they are operating a cleaning business. So whom they have employed, I told you that they are struggling to find out labor force. What they did was they identified some vulnerable people in the community, drug addicts, household victims of household abuse, something like that. So they try to employ these neglected communities in their business. And also, if you look at the community dental service, because in UK, dental facilities are so expensive and you have to wait 2-3 years long queue. So what they did was they operate their dental service to the people, those who don't have access to dental capacities or dental services. So these are some good examples where you can see social enterprises are operating in the UK. So I'm not going to talk about this social entrepreneurs across the Europe, but if you look at this slide, you can see there are plenty of good models where we can identify social entrepreneurs. But then you may wonder, like, whether this speaker forgot about to talk about the biomimicry. No, I didn't. Because when you look at all these social entrepreneurs, they have used most of these social entrepreneurs I found from the European region. They try to incorporate and go hand in hand with the nature based solution, with biomimicry concepts into these businesses. Right? Say, for example, 3B Italy, they try to preserve the bee community and also biodiversity based on IT, information technology. Alga Energy is also a company. They try to create microalgae business and try to enhance the agricultural productivity. So you can see how they have innovated some biomimicry as well as nature inspired solution into their businesses. And also just to touch upon like the importance of social entrepreneurs in world data. Of course, you can see there are around 2 million social entrepreneurs in India, and also in Sri Lanka around 10,000 social entrepreneurs. That means there are social entrepreneurs around us, and let's try to convince them, okay, there are mechanisms you can furthermore expand your business by using this biomimicry knowledge. Further enhanced during the social entrepreneurs have further enhanced during the pandemic. I don't want to say this is one of the evidence from the UK example. UK example demonstrated that how much social enterprise has provide benefits to the community. Say, for example, female entrepreneurship has been expanded through the social entrepreneurs, and also giving some contribution to the economy, and also commercially resilient. Social entrepreneurs has become commercially resilient. So I'm not going to talk about much about the social enterprise. So I think we have already talked about some of the key challenges that we identified, particularly with social enterprises. Say, for example, I'm going to pick some of a few examples. Disaster risk, because I won't connect social enterprise with the biomimicry. So if social enterprises are challenged because of the disaster risk, we can look at the nature, we can see how living things are trying to be resilient. So we can understand a resilient mechanism from the living things and bring to the social entrepreneurs. Recruiting staff, we can see how bees colonies and colonies are working together, trying to sort out their performances as well as their activities and bring it back to the recruiting staff. And also shortage of skill. How do we learn lessons? And also then when we look at the external shock, and also access to market, how do they cater? Are they catering across the world, or are we looking at the localized concepts? And also legal and policy, how do we monitor? What are the monitoring mechanisms available within the living organism, and bring that concept into our social enterprises. I hope you are getting little by little what we meant from this talk. And social enterprise in India, as you can see, there are very 2 million social enterprises operating in India across different sectors. Agriculture is one of the key sector. Unfortunately, they are having some key problems, as you can see from this diagram. What are the problems in the social enterprise entrepreneurs in India, like grant funding, taxation, capital formation, and things like that. So we'll try to try to help these communities. So that is how we are trying to identify what are the innovative mechanisms that we can bring from the social entrepreneurs, from the biomimicry concept into social entrepreneurs, growth and resilience. So what we did, we took a trial. A group of researchers from Huddersfield University, from Sri Lankan University, and some other local government organization. We try to initiate a project to see, like, can we support social entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka as a pilot study by bringing the concept of biomimicry and see whether this biomimicry can help their growth as well as resilience through the biomimicry concept. So you can see we set our study aim and objectives as this, and then we conducted the literature review, and also we did some data collection and we did some data analysis. Initial findings. So we identified some of the social entrepreneurs' problem faced in Sri Lanka, as well as through our literature, as well as some initial data, and we identified some good solutions, happy to say that, from the biomimicry as strength. It focuses on efficiency, lessons from efficiency, and also knowledge from nature-based knowledge and nature-based examples to resilience, and helping to create a circular economy. And the biomimicry is always promoting to localize your business and opportunities to diverse fields. So these are some promising results we have collected right now. Conclusion. I'm not going to talk about the conclusion. I think you listened to a very long talk. I'm very sorry to take like more than 45 minutes, but I hope that I try my level best to link the concepts, different concepts, in a fruitful way, with dividing my whole talk into 4 different elements, giving some idea about the concept of biomimicry and biomimicry with sustainability, and also biomimicry sustainability within the business world, and a trial version with the social enterprise. So that is what I have to say. And let me finish my talk with a very nice eye-capturing statement given by, again, the modern day biomimicry, inspired person, Janine Benyus. According to her, nature is the ultimate teacher. So you can learn and I can learn from the nature. And we all are student, and we all will be the student of Mother Nature. Thank you very much for listening to my talk.
Thank you very much, madam. Dear all, if you have a question related to this session, you can ask now. Now this floor is yours. You can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions.
Thank you, Dr. Kinkini, for an excellent presentation. Really excellent presentation. Thank you so much.
Happy to hear that, and thank you. And I'm very proud to be, I think, get your insights as well as your guidance and support for conducting our pilot study about whether we can use this biomimicry concepts in Sri Lanka. I think that will be a starting point to have another sort of round with the Indian collaborators. We can elaborate our ongoing research with with many enterprises in India. I am pretty sure. Thank you, Professor Ranjan.
Good evening, Doctor. It's a very excellent presentation. I have been really inspired because I have also inkling in this nature. I would like to know what sort of implementative action you have taken to introduce this concept to Sri Lanka. I know there are social entrepreneurs, and as you have said, there are a lot of difficulties. So,
yes. Yeah,
thank you.
that is why we thought of like starting this process as a pilot study and see. And if I take back to my presentation slide, talking about, we set 4 different objectives. Initially, we wanted to know like what are the activities social entrepreneurs are doing, and what are their different type of industries they are focusing. And within understanding these Sri Lankan social entrepreneurs, we took some time to look at what type of nature related activities are already incorporated within their businesses. And based on that knowledge, we are trying to identify what are the current practices. And also, we are trying to find out good practices, maybe from some other developed countries as well as developing countries. And then we are trying to mix those two ideas and try to deliver a research paper as an academic contribution. And also, later on, we are planning to disseminate this initial finding across different sectors as well as a kind of dissemination session, because as academics that is what we can do, disseminate this knowledge among communities. And also we would like to elaborate this knowledge among not only limiting with the social entrepreneurs, but also if possible, to elaborate to other small and medium entrepreneurs to elaborate this knowledge and get some advantages of the findings through our dissemination. So basically, we will be contributing to research papers where any researchers or any academic who can read. And also we are planning several dissemination sessions, not a technical dissemination, maybe like participation of several entrepreneurs from Sri Lanka. Then we can open up the possibilities to show that, okay, this is what we found from you. You are engaging in different ways with the nature, and these are the possible avenues. If you do that, these are the benefits. Then you have the option to select what is suitable for you. I think that is what our right now target. I hope that we can get more inputs from the other communities while we are in our journey.
Dr. Kinkini,
Yeah.
may I add a little bit to the what you discussed? Of
Yes,
course,
please.
we at CAP headquarters, we have been fully engaged with the Huddersfield University, UK, Dr. Kinkini and Mr. Asita and Professor Dilanti and Professor Richard and Professor Lee, as well as we have another partner from Canada, Dr. Janaka Ruanpura. Likewise, that is why we developed the Biomimicry Research Center in Sri Lanka, so that this is the first initiative that we are giving for the awareness program. So we will be having the workshop, as well as we are trying to have a international conference in August with the help of the India Sri Lanka Foundation. So that we will be continuing this research study. For right now, we have like 3 research student working at the Biomimicry Research Center. So we are trying to keep on applying the grants, and we work in the different area like the social entrepreneurships and disaster risk reduction, and of course structural and architecture and different areas. We are trying to work and find out the best suitable solution for the through the biomimicry for the sustainability. So that is a little bit update about what we do the initiation that started with the Huddersfield has been drawn to a big tree right now. We will try to continue this work. Thank you for the asking question.
Thank you, Dr. Kinkini, and thank you, Professor Ranjit. May I ask another question, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. This have you all started a dialogue with the business enterprises in Sri Lanka, like the industry? I know it's you are going to start with the entrepreneurs and all, because that they are the people will be benefited, because I'm also working with the entrepreneurs and as well as industry. That's why I asked that question.
Yeah. So from my end, I think Professor Ranjit make me correct if I made any mistakes. We started with this pilot project. We started collecting and meeting with the small social entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. So we started like as the source of data collection. So we have started not in the way of a kind of discussion, but as a way of collecting their information. But hopefully, in the future, we need to have a discourse as well as a kind of continuous discussion with the communities and the business entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. And I think with the planned activities ahead, like say for example, the conference center, anything now. Uh,
Companies and the two going to engage with our the research center.